Hola diehards, I've got a question to ask you. Are you starting to hear Christmas music in the shops and stuff? Because I don't. And it's great. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about today is the protests that have been happening across Europe. So, let's start a riot! Or we could just have a peaceful protest, one of the two. But yes, there was protesting this Wednesday across the European Union due to EU austerity measures, and strikes that are happening were because of that. Now, for me working at Sevilla FC, they weren't striking. However, the metro that gets me to Sevilla FC was. So I couldn't go and work that day, or do much, to say the least. But I got on with stuff with the virtual school. So, swings and roundabouts. On the topic of virtual school, we're getting more videos done, and hopefully, by the time we get back to the UK, we'll have more videos to show. You may remember I said before about a One Direction video that I may or may not be starring in. Well, that's currently being edited at the moment, and we're hoping to get it out in time for Christmas. Maybe a Christmas #1? We're hoping to get that out soon. Now, because it's an engagement video, it doesn't need the rigorous checking that comes with the teaching videos, which is why you haven't really seen any of the teaching videos come out, unless they've been done previously. But hopefully that'll begin to start rolling along and we can get that going. And now on to the main sports story of the weekend. Yes, the Autumn Internationals. And it hasn't been good at all for anyone except Ireland, but that wasn't a real Autumn International game. Because Wales lost, Scotland lost, and England lost. Wales? Really? Really? Well done, Rob. You're doing a great job. I'm being sarcastic, you moron. The problem with Wales at the moment, and a lot of people have been saying it, including the captain of the Samoan team, are saying that Wales are just essentially doing the same thing in every game. They did it in the Six Nations and it worked. But when you keep doing the same thing, other teams are going to notice, which is how Argentina beat them, how Australia beat them over the summer, and how Samoa beat them now. So the one bit of advice that I know Rob Howley won't be listening because he's not watching this video is do something different. England, on the other hand, playing their well-known rivals Australia, just an unfortunate game for them. And Scotland, poor Scotland. I actually think Scotland could do really well. They're doing much better than the start of the year in which they were whitewashed in the Six Nations. And they even have a scalp over Australia, which is something that none of the other teams of the home nations can say. But anyway, we're halfway through the Autumn Internationals and there's still 2 weeks to go. And then we'll find out the tiering system for the World Cup and the final places. But it is not looking good for most of the home nations. France, on the other hand, is doing really well, but I don't care. And now I'm going to lead you back into Sevilla and sport at the same time. What? Yes, today is the big game in Sevilla. It is the Sevilla derby between Sevilla FC and Real Betis. And that's actually starting in an hour. So that's why I'm trying to wrap this video up as quick as I can. So by the time I get to uploading this, the match will have already happened. Now, I would have originally wanted to go and see it live in the stadium. The problem is that unlike in the UK, when you can buy tickets well in advance, anywhere between a few weeks to a year in advance, tickets in Spain, or at least in Sevilla, are quite different, that you can only buy them a week in advance unless you're a season ticket holder. This ultimately means, because this is such a big game, that tickets are not only expensive, but they sold out really quickly. I think the cheapest ticket was €45. And for someone that gets paid €50 a week, that's just something I can't stretch to. Hopefully I might be able to see a game that's not as big in the stadium before I leave. Although this was the main one I wanted to see. But, that's the thing with live television and stuff, you can just watch it wherever you want now. Anyways, that's the week that was. I will be back to give you an update next week. I hope you're all really well, hope you're wrapping up because of the cold weather, and look forward to seeing you next week. Adios, amigos! On a final note, I'd like like to give a great shout out and congratulations to everyone that won an award with the Nottingham Students' Union Awards. I know I was a recipient of one, and unfortunately I couldn't be there because this. But I just want to wish everyone congratulations and all the best. Ta-da!